Hey guys, welcome back to the ZongX channel. If I don't release another review, I think people will forget that I started as a Gunpla reviewer. Well, I was having some problems before, otherwise I would have released the Mark V video sooner. Anyways, today we're building the AMG Mark V. Finally, a proper Gunpla and it's not Robot Damacy. You know, RD Mark V is super expensive nowadays, so the AMG release is a good decision. However, as you can see from the box art, it was originally planned as a regular release to pair with the EXS Gundam. Unfortunately, this decision was changed and a lot of regular releases were turned into PB. I expect people to say I'm saying BS, but you still can't change the fact Bandai is testing the waters. Maybe in the future, there won't be any regular releases. Who knows? Personally, I expected the Mark V to be a good model because based on the CG at the beginning, it doesn't look like it's recycled. So unless Bandai hit their heads again and decided to do stupid decisions like the TR1 AMGs. Well, let's take a look at the box art. I don't know did you all read the novel before, but this scene is from the novel where Brave Colt single-handedly shut down the 3-man Feds team and many other defensive force units by himself. The background is the dark side of the moon, which is called AS City. Now, the box art is fine and performed as usual. The only thing is that I wish there's 3 Feds being blown up in the background. That would make the box art even more powerful. Since this is a regular release box, so let's look at the side before we move on to the runners. As you can see, this MG is definitely regular release before the department changed their mind. Mark V is directly connected with Dolphin Wolf and Silver Bullet. If we are lucky, maybe one of them will be regular release. I hope the chance goes to Dolphin Wolf. Why I made these assumptions? Because if you look at the frame runners, it says Mark V frame rather than just the name, which means there's a high chance that they will recycle the frame. Just wait around 1 year or so and you will see the PBs. Mark V is completely new, so I'm happier about this rather than the TR1s. TR1 series could have used a new frame, but Bandai reused the Mark II 2.0 frame. Turns out the frame is sloppy. So I have super high expectation towards the Mark V. The runners don't have much to discuss, so I'm just gonna end right here. See you in the review. Before we start the review, I would like to thank Sugo Toys for sponsoring this video. Well, Well, you heard this shop for a lot of times, but you know what? It's awesome. Other than Gundam related like Premium Bandai, Metal Robot Damacy, Metal Build or new releases, Sugo Toys have more than just one category. It has hot toys for DC and Marvel fans. You have other series of statue, action figures, and even designer toys are available on their website. Recently, they did a rearrangement on their website. You can now select the price range. A very nice feature for low-budget people like me. Don't hesitate. Go to sugotoys.com.au to check out more deals. Hey guys, welcome back to MG Gundam Mark V review. So this is the finishing of it. Now, what can I say about this PB is that the performance is as usual. There's no something very surprising or making you nearly fell out of your chair. It's a stable and normal performance. I do want to apologize that I'm about to say something that might be out of topic. I'm not a very experienced MG builder, but I do notice that every time a new RG came out, people all over the net are sharing that particular RG and saying it's surprising and fascinating. When it comes to MG, it seems like the excitement that we used to have is dropping. Like we are not so surprising when we got the physical model, we are just glad about that particular MS got an MG treatment. Plus, standing from an objective point, MG is slowly turning into a deadline like RE100. You know, the frame and surface details are still there, but it's just not as surprising as back in the days. Maybe it's just me, feel free to disagree about that opinion. Okay, pull our focus back to the Mark V. Basically, all the features that Mark V should have is there. As for now, I don't have any sloppy frame or unstable parts experience. It's not too soft like the Freedom 2.0 frame. The frame strength is right at the spot. The additional detail on the Mark V is that you can see the colors clearly, like the layers of white, gray, and blue. So let's see, can the Mark V reach my expectation? Let's go. As usual, we are always starting from the head. Mark V is one of the Gundams created by Titans, so you can really see the Titans design elements on the head. You can see the head is long, the face is pretty evil with an unusual chin design. The eyes also make me felt so villainy. Overall, speaking of the feeling and aura, this MG didn't disappoint me at all. It's perfect. The antenna is very different than the traditional Gundam designs. It's not a complete piece and it's individuals. Bandai is pretty nice this time. If you somehow broke the antenna, you have 2 extra antennas to replace. For the articulations, the neck jaw really allow it to move a great angle. Moving up and down is perfect. The head can turn 360, but do remember the antenna is extremely fragile, so you might as well don't move the head. The chest gave me a feeling of toughness because the chest is quite thick. I like these kinds of style. One of the rare designs of Mark V is the exhausters at the middle of the chest. But I mean, unusual is basically the signature of the Titans. Just like the MG traditional, you can open the cockpit, but Mark V's cockpit is very hard to open. I do suggest you borrow some tools to make it easier. As for the articulations, you need to pull the joint out to unlock more movements. Moving front and back is quite good. Side to side is a little bit, but good enough. You can only turn horizontally below 90 degrees because the side skirts are big, so Mark V can't turn 360. Mark V's shoulders and arms are very unique and big. As you can see on the shoulders, the missile pods. Each pod has an individual movement, so you can adjust the position and leave some gaps to open the hatch. Once you open it, you will see 3 missiles in the pod. The good thing is that Bandai gave the red as default. Otherwise, you gotta detail it up like Heavy Arms Kai EW. As we take a closer look on the shoulders, you will notice an undergate design. It really bumps the details out. Unfortunately, this shoulder is connected through a C-shaped joint. Mine is quite loose, and sometimes when you move it, it will disconnect itself. As for the articulations, the shoulder can only move slightly because of the missile pods in the way. As usual, there's an armor piece at the side of the shoulder that can move. As for the arms, it doesn't have special features other than big in general. If you look at the back, you will see this sweet tube detail. I do suggest you paint it to look better. I don't have a particular surface detail that I want to share, so I will just go straight to articulations. The best you can do is a 180 turn because the missile pods will bump into the side skirts. Lifting is close to 90 because the missile pods block the articulations on the shoulders. Moving front and back is just normal. The whole arm can rotate smoothly. There's one new articulation. You can move the arms side to side, but it's very little and I'm not sure what it will benefit the posing. The bending is average. It cannot touch its shoulders, but good enough. As for the hands, there's no extra joints, just one big ball joint to snap it in the wrist. Another pair of open hands are swappable. You can swap between beam saber hands and trigger hands. Mark V don't really have a traditional waist. As you can see, the front skirt is just one piece. You can see that there are 2 layers of undergate, gray then white, all by parts. The front skirt skirt can move 90 degrees, but if you pull the joint down, you can reposition the front skirt. But I'm not sure what's this for. The side skirts are mounted on the side of the thighs. It doesn't have any interesting things to talk about, but I do need to remind you that you might as well glue the thruster. Ball joints issues again. Thankfully, this big side skirt can move 90 degrees, so I guess it won't affect the legs articulations. For those of you that never look at the Mark V carefully, it doesn't have a back skirt. You only have this little piece for you to connect to the base. The legs are colorful, but the balance is there to make sure it's not too much. If you let me to pick one thing that can make it perfect, it will be to add more panel lines. For those of you who have the skills, please carve your panel lines. I need to give this special shot. It doesn't have that annoying joint anymore. Now the legs can stay in place without swinging around. As for the articulations, front kick is less than 180, but this is outstanding. Side kick is super bad because of the side skirt size. My assumption is totally wrong. Back kick is slightly more than 90. Excellent. The knee can bend V-shape. The articulations are limited because of the big armor pieces. On the left and right side of the lower leg, you will see the thruster pieces. Each of them has a little bit of movement. Let's look at the feet. It's very big and kind of look weird in my opinion. The feet are divided into 3 parts. The front is a big piece. You can see the white colors at the side. It's part separation again. As for the articulations, the whole feet can move front and back, side to side and 360 with a smooth feeling. The front of the feet has some separate movement. The tip can also move a bit. The back of the feet are 2 parts, both of them connected through a ball joint. The movements are very free. The backpack of the Mark V reminds me of Double Zeta, although it's not as big as the one on Double Zeta, but the overall structure is similar. At the top of the backpack, you can see a pair of beam saber. Just like the Legacy custom that I reviewed before, you can stick an effect part in and it became chopsticks. Also, the beam saber joints have some movements, but you won't use it that often. At the middle section of the backpack, you will see 2 incom units. You can pull it out and let the incom shoot. You have a cable and 4 gray parts in the box to let you recreate the deploy incoms. To recreate the deploy incoms, pull the incom core out, stick your wire in, put the extra gray parts on and the core at the end. It looks kind of weird like all wired weapons on Gunpla, but I have a feeling that after a couple rounds, the gray parts will start to become loose. At the lower part of the backpack, there is a pair of big thrusters. It can move a bit, but there's no interesting thing to talk about. For those of you that are familiar with Double Zeta's design, you know the beam sabers are cannons at the same time. Mark V has the same settings too, but deploy differently. The backpack has some joints for you to move and adjust. First, point the beam sabers out, pull the backpack down, and it should look like this. Secondly, rotate the backpack facing front. Remember to move the arms out of the way. Lastly, point the beam cannons to the front, and this is the cannon mode. This form reminds me of the F91 too. I guess maybe the concept was first on Mark V. The weapons of the Mark V are standard, a shield and a rifle. Let's start from the rifle. The rifle is very simple, no articulations needed sub-handle. Other than dark blue and white colors, the rest of the sensors are all stickers. Unfortunately, the performance is quite boring and I can't say anything other than this rifle is bigger than most of the MG rifles. Coming up next is the shield. It's not really a shield, it's more like a booster. First, the shield is very thick and standing from a logical way, it can't really block incoming attacks. The surface is too narrow. Other than the beautiful colors on the shield, if you turn it to the back, you will see extra details and 2 fuel tanks. As I said, this shield is more like an extra booster for me. To equip the shield, push it into the forearm and slide it down, the connection is stable. Once you turn the connector to the opposite way, you can push it into the backpack and slide down. There is the booster form. To be honest, I didn't know this setting until this MG released, but please, it doesn't work as a shield. Alright, we are at the end of the review. I gotta say I loved the Mark V very much. Recommend it for sure. Now, if you wanna wait the Armor Ray version, it's possible that Bandai will roll out this year, or you can just paint it yourself. Back to the topic, I really want a regular release Dovahn Wolf. I can understand Mark V and Silver Bullet rarely or didn't even appear on screen, but Dovahn Wolf did a good performance at the end of Double Zeta. It would be weird to have a famous suit in PB. I'm sorry, I expected too much from Bandai. I mean, they kind of put famous suits like the Killblade Mark IIs in the PB line. Let's see what happens next. For the Mark V, you definitely want to get your hands on it. It's so good. How to make it better? If you carve the line, then I think it's good enough. In my opinion, the details are quite minimum, so if you do some extra work, it will be perfect. Thank you guys for watching this video. Happy New Year, and if you're still waiting the XLMS episode and reviews, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell next to it. Join my Discord, link is down below. Follow my IG at Sebavonics. I would like to thank Suko Toys for sponsoring, Breath and Pams for the audio editing and thumbnail. Check them out too. Links are in the description. Thank you guys for watching this review and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Bobby. Bobby, can you please get off the table? I haven't done my review yet. Bobby.